Hello, everybody. Jessica Pravat, publisher here at the Baker County Press with another sit down with the sheriff.
Yep.
We have Sheriff Scotty Rhoden in the house, and we're here to talk about the recent spat of gun violence
hmm
in Baker County. It's obviously a hot topic. It's front page news. Unfortunately, it's become far more frequent than we're used to out
hmm
here. So we wanted to invite you in to sit down and just discuss what's going on and what you guys are doing. We solicited questions from our readers and our followers on social
hmm
media to make sure that the residents had a voice as well. And so we'll jump right into it. Basically, there appears to be a concentration of gun violence in the Southwest McClenny area, to be very specific.
hmm
What is the Baker County Sheriff's Office doing differently in those neighborhoods now to deter the violence where it has become most commonplace, especially given the proximity to churches, schools, parks, areas where families like to go and congregate?
Well, I don't think we're specifically targeting one area with what we're doing. We're abroad for
Hmm.
everybody because our goal is to keep our whole community safe,
Right,
not one specific area.
right.
So we're seeing some of these violent acts at our parks, the duck
Hmm.
pond, for
Right,
example. We've had two there.
right.
Um, we're seeing trends expand and just being transparent with our community. I've been doing this job for 30 something years. And I've never seen the violence that we've had start since January to now for these
Right.
past 6 months.
Hmm.
This is something that's never been experienced
Yeah.
by Baker County before.
Hmm.
So, with the things that we're doing right now, is we're actively engaging ourselves. We got an AIU team that we can send out to target specific areas. They're involved in the HIDA task force, which is helping with information coming in on criminal activity so we can focus on those individuals.
Hmm.
We can focus on certain areas. I have met personally with the state attorney's office to say, hey, let's aggressively go after these people that are
Right.
committing these violent crimes and acts in our community,
Hmm.
send them to prison where they need to be.
Right.
Bottom line.
Right.
So we've got a good working relationship with our state attorney's office.
Okay.
Um, we have also partnered with the FBI. I have a
Hmm.
person assigned to the
Right.
FBI task force,
Right.
Safe Streets. So we gather information from
Uh-huh.
them. We
Right.
can use their technology to help us solve these crimes, to help us pinpoint things that we need during our investigation.
Hmm.
We're also partnering with ATF. I'm in the midst of signing an agreement with them to assign an investigator to the ATF that
Wow.
basically helps us track these firearms. They bring their units over here, they help us in solving
Right.
crimes. So we're actively trying to progress things at the agency to make our community safer.
Right.
We're also got a detective assigned as a liaison to different gang units in Duval County, St. Johns County, Clay County.
Hmm.
So that person goes out individually to these gang units, learns about people. Let's not bury our head in the sand. We have
Uh-huh.
people here that are affiliated with some gangs, and
Right.
we've already identified some of those people.
Right.
So we use that information and we relay it to our AIU people. We want to keep track of where these people are, what they're
Absolutely.
doing, what their movements are, who
Right.
they're associated with. So there's things in the police world that we're doing
Hmm.
that people in the public don't really see.
Right.
Technology is another thing.
Hmm.
We have got a lot of things technology wise that we can't discuss openly because we don't want to give our
Right.
tactical advantage
Advantage.
away.
Right.
And so those are things that we're doing. But
Hmm.
those are also things that we're presenting in our budget this year that
Right.
when we take it to the county,
Yeah.
these are things that we're going to need to continue to make our community
Hmm.
safe and keep our people here to
Right.
feel comfortable to leave here, live here, and bring
Hmm.
their families here. So there's
Absolutely.
a lot of things that we're doing, not just specific to one area, because I don't
Right.
believe in specifically one. We need to do this as a whole because
Now the AIU unit
Mhm.
that you mentioned, that's basically just a specialized group. That's what they do.
That's what they do. They're three people.
Okay.
This is a unit that we came
Hmm.
up with. This
Okay.
happened this year.
Hmm.
It was something that we wanted to say, hey, how can we aggressively go after and target areas of high crime
Right.
or target maybe a traffic area or something,
Hmm.
anywhere there's a complaint coming into the sheriff's office or to me directly from a
Right.
community, from a citizen.
Hmm.
Okay, I've got someone that I could say, okay, I need this focused on, I need this area focused on,
Right.
and this is what we're doing.
Right.
So those individuals are here to go after people with warrants,
Hmm.
high traffic areas that may be problems,
Right.
and any other special assignments that may come to us that I say, hey, we need this addressed and we need this
Right.
looked at. And I'm telling you, when we give the numbers of what, because we will be transparent and give these numbers at the end of the
Hmm.
year, I think people are going to be really surprised
Hmm.
and how good this unit has been doing and what
Right.
it's been doing for Baker County to keep us all safe.
Absolutely. And so, and I mean, too, that gives you that flexibility of not having to pull somebody off the street.
Well, that's what was
And
happening
right.
when we didn't have this unit. If a
Hmm.
patrol guy was working, well,
Hmm.
he's got responsibilities to answer calls, calls for service,
Right.
rescue calls, different things.
Hmm.
So you couldn't break that individual off. These three individuals, and this is what I said when we had this group,
Right.
they're not to come off for any other thing unless there's a dire emergency of
Right.
a backup for another officer,
Right.
or if there's a serious situation, a violent crime, a shooting, or
Hmm.
anything, then they're all to respond because we're all responding at that
Right.
time.
Right.
But we're not breaking them away to do petty things because I need them focused on the job that we're putting them out there to do, and that's to keep up where people are at,
Hmm.
put people in jail that are violating the law. And these are the ones that works with our detectives because it's under our detective division.
Okay.
So the liaison that we have with the gang units that's going
Hmm.
around, they relay that information to our AIU people. Our
Gotcha.
AIU people then put their names. They are
All
familiar
right.
with them. We know where they're at, and that's what we focus on.
Let's see here. Another question is there's obviously the other hot topic in Baker County is the large amount of growth
Mhm.
that is in the process of being approved, planned, the whole 9 yards. Is coming
It is.
essentially. And so somebody asked, what are you doing, or are you doing something now to be ready for when that gets here, when those homes are built and people move in?
Yes, that's what we're tackling this year in our budget process. It's going to take funding.
All right.
There's things that we need. Me as the sheriff, I'm going to project to the county commissioners what we need in our community to keep our community safe during this growth.
Right.
That's adding more deputies. But the first thing we have to do is we have to get our pay up where we can keep our deputies.
All right.
If we're not paying them, they're not staying.
All right.
We're under mandatory overtime right now. These guys are working day and night, not having time with their family, and that's not right. And
Right.
we're losing good people
Right.
because we're not competitive with our starting salary and what we're paying these people. And we have to do that. And this year I've addressed that in this budget. And we've worked well with our commissioners,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that they're going to understand. I'm
Right.
meeting with them. We're going to present everything to them. We're not asking for lavish things to be shiny. We're needing things to make Baker County safe, and we have a plan in place to where we're going to do it. But it starts with personnel.
Right.
If we don't have the personnel, we can implement a lot of things, but it will never work.
Right.
Technology is another thing. Technology is the future.
Right.
It is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
but technology costs.
That's it.
There's a lot of things that we can implement. I wish I could go in and discuss it with the community so they can understand what, but tactically we cannot do that. But I
Right.
can tell you the things that we're going after and the things that we're doing and we're going to present to the county is going to make Baker County a safer and better place to raise your family. And it's going to attract other people to want to come work in an agency like we are because we're going
Right.
to advance to the next level of law enforcement.
Awesome. Hey, it definitely sounds like you've got the plan and you're putting it into play at the right time period.
Yes.
You're not waiting until the problem's
Yeah,
here and the people are here.
we have actually been working on this since last budget ended. We started because we see the growth.
Right.
Again, January to now, violence has took place. We've never seen that,
Right.
but we were trying to prepare for that before it happened because with
Right.
more growth comes more crime. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
Right. Right.
And we have a plan in place to make Baker County safe. I can tell you that. I can assure
Mhm.
the citizens of Baker County we do.
Perfect. And then some of these kind of get into trying to get ahead of these young people because most of them seem to be young people,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Um, what would you advise parents of young adults and teenagers, children, even? I mean, we had the 14-year-old to help them, to help a parent better protect their child from gun violence. violence, whether it's, getting involved with it on either end or just protect them in general.
Mhm. That's a great question because really, I've just broke down the number of and how old these people are that's been involved and kind of going through that. So anywhere from 14, one of them was young as 13, I think.
Right.
13 to 25 was where it was when they fell
Right.
into what the violence, where they had a gun, in possession of a gun,
Mhm.
or part of what happened, the robbery, the shooting,
Right.
whatever it may be. So you're looking at that 13 to 25. Um, my advice, the best advice I can give is, I tell you, what we've learned through our investigation is these young kids, they're all carrying guns.
Right.
The law tells us if you're 18 and above, it's not a criminal offense to have a gun.
Right.
I'm a staunch believer in the Second Amendment. Let's make
Mhm.
that clear. I'm not here to take people's guns.
Right.
Be responsible when you have a gun.
Right.
Now, under 18 and are caught with a firearm, we're going to arrest you. We're going to put you in jail,
Mhm.
unless you're hunting or something like that, what the law
Right.
tells us to do. But I would engage parents by telling them this: watch what your kids are doing. Social media is one of the worst things. You will
Right.
not believe the disputes and the shootings that we have, and when you're getting to the bottom of it,
Mhm.
you're shooting each other because of Snapchat. You're shooting each other because of a dispute on Facebook. These are things that people are ruining their lives, taking lives over because of social media.
Right.
Monitor what your kids are doing, see who they're hanging out with.
Mhm.
They're playing these video games, and I'll just be
Right.
honest. Let's just be straightforward. I want to be open and transparent.
Mhm.
Kids are playing these violent video games, listening to these violent rap
Mhm.
songs that's talking about killing and shooting. When they play these games and they shoot and kill and they're on their headsets and the next buddy's playing,
Right.
they walk over there and hit a button and restart.
Mhm.
Real life isn't restart.
Nope.
Once you do this and take that next step, there's no restart.
Right.
There's consequences, and there's sadness, and there's death that usually is involved with it.
Yeah.
And I would just encourage parents to pay attention as much as you can. I know
Mhm.
parents are busy. I'm a
Yeah.
parent,
Right.
but my responsibility is to keep up with what my child's doing. It's not
Absolutely.
law enforcement's job to keep up with what your child's doing.
Exactly. It's parents. Be parents, and you're right. Staying engaged, I think,
And we
and
want to help.
right.
If it's something to help them with, all they have to do is reach out to us, and we're going to help. If they got problems with
Mhm.
kids and they need somebody to mentor or talk,
Right.
we'll be glad to. That's why we get into the school resource.
Mhm.
That's what I tell our school resource. You're there to mentor these kids,
Right.
to make a friend out of law enforcement. We're
Mhm.
not the enemy. We are the friend.
Right. Right. All right. So the next question is, how can residents support the Baker County Sheriff's Office to help maintain a safer community and build that trust with the community and with you and your deputies?
It's another great question, but I tell you what they can do is help us by cooperating with us. You will be shocked. There's some of these crimes that we haven't solved yet because there's there's no cooperation by the victim. There's no
Right.
cooperation by the neighborhoods. There's no cooperation by people. Even when they got videos and cameras in there, if we knock on the door and say, "Hey, can we look?" You'll be surprised that the people say you can't have that, or
Really?
we're not sharing that with you.
Wow.
So we want to partnership, and I don't know if it's because they don't want to be involved.
Right.
They're afraid of
Right.
retaliation. So we
Absolutely.
try to do our very best to
Hmm.
keep that on the back burner, basically, to
Right.
say, hey, we're going to do everything we can to protect you and keep
Hmm.
you safe and protect your information where this may have
Right.
come from. But there's laws that tell us sometimes we can't do that, and we're not going to lie to
Right.
people. We're
Right.
just not going to lie to them.
Right.
But them getting involved by just it's a simple thing. If you see something, say something.
Right. Right.
Don't be afraid to call us. We
Hmm.
have hotlines. You can give anonymous information. You
Right.
can call us with anonymous information. You can call me personally and tell
Hmm.
me information. I answer calls all hours of the night,
Right.
7 days a week. And we need the public.
Hmm.
We need that help because you are the eyes and ears in there at all times.
Right.
We are just riding through every now and then and making sure everybody's safe and comfortable and doing what they're supposed to be doing. You're
Right.
there all the time. You see the suspicious activity.
Hmm.
You see the suspicious person walking. You see the guy that might have been parked there for 2 hours in one time.
Right.
Tell us about it. There's nothing too small that you can't call us and report because it may lead to something big.
Right. Right. Um, and then in terms of resources available for victims of the crimes, either from you or partners that you
Mhm.
work with, what are some of those resources that are out there?
Well, we have a victims advocate that
Hmm.
reaches out to, and they're in part of everything we go out to. She is there with us, and
Hmm.
she get reaches out to resources. If there's certain special things that we may need, and we need to reach out to a community partner, I may
Hmm.
reach out myself and say, "Hey, this is what we're looking for." We
Right.
have a great response from our community. People are
Hmm.
wanting to help. They're willing to
Right.
help. We just need to reach out to those certain people, but they like to be anonymous, and that way. And I don't blame
Right.
them.
Right.
And
Right.
but we know who those people are.
Hmm.
We have the resources to reach out to them, and
Hmm.
we don't hesitate to use them when we need them. But we have a
Right.
victims advocate. The state attorney has a victims advocate that, and when it turns over criminally, some they take over. But I instruct my victims advocate: you stay with them through the process. Also,
Right.
work
Right.
with the state attorneys. Let's work together,
Right.
collaborate. Say, hey, how can we help this victim? They're
Right.
going through a tragic time. We want to be there and give them every resource, everything that we can to make them feel good and feel safe through this process.
And another concern, and some people I think are trying to see if there's a correlation between this rise in the homelessness problem, or it may not even be a rise, more people are becoming more aware
Hmm.
of the homeless problem here in Baker County. People in neighborhoods are complaining because they're finding people sleeping in their backyards or seeing them out around the county.
Hmm.
Um, and there, the question is, what is the sheriff's office doing with this problem? I guess what part are you guys playing in helping to deal with this problem, especially where you run into the problems of like them being in people's yards or that type of thing?
I encourage people first to call us. I don't know of any calls we've had about homeless people being in people's property or resident. But if we do, you need to call us. We need to go around there. We need to address that issue with that individual. You have things you can do with law,
Mm-hmm.
trespass them. We're going to find out who they are. We're going to
Right.
move. We're going to try to get them to a location where they're safe, whether it be in another jurisdiction, a homeless
Mm-hmm.
shelter somewhere. We do take them out of the county
Right.
if we can. We can't force them,
Right.
but we want to. But
Mm-hmm.
we do let them know that this won't be tolerated, and we will put you in jail, and we
Right.
will take you through the system and process you that way. But I
Right.
encourage people to reach out to us. This violence that we're seeing right now has nothing to do with the homeless.
Right.
This is nothing to do with the homeless part that we're dealing with
Right.
also. But we
Right.
have a plan for the homeless thing too, and we want to work with our partners in our community and
Right.
the people. But we need them to call us. They need to tell us about
Right. Well, and I do know Mr. Schmitz
it.
with the EOC
Hmm.
department down there with you guys. You know, he's really kind of taken that on,
Hmm.
and he seems to really be building a large number of options and
That's right.
resources to try and help people both with their potential addictions that have got them in the position they're
That's right.
in. So,
And we do. We want to get those resources. I said we would arrest them if we. Well, you got to remember also when we arrest them, then it becomes a tax burden for our taxpayer because we have to
right.
put them in jail. We have to feed them. We have to house
Hmm.
them. We have to give them medical.
Right.
So we try to do everything we can to transition them somewhere to make
Hmm.
where they're safe
Right.
and out of the community, but
Right.
most of all where they're safe and getting help
Right.
that they need.
Well, and that's as you mentioned, you know, even the resources, Duval County and so
Hmm.
many of the surrounding counties that have the things in place.
That's right.
So, lastly, town halls. I know
Hmm.
you guys have announced you are hosting two town halls
Hmm.
to engage the community specifically about crime trends and clearance
Hmm.
rates. More information on the recent violent gun crime, which we've discussed today, enforcement actions, the current challenges, and the planned solutions. So we have two town halls planned.
Hmm.
We've got one here July 31st at CFT,
That's
Christian
correct.
Fellowship Temple.
That's correct.
I tend to use the abbreviations and
Hmm.
forget not everybody knows what that is. So Christian Fellowship Temple at 6 p.m.
Yes.
And then you're having another one in the Sanderson area
Hmm.
the following week, August 7th at Faith Bible Church,
Hmm.
Pastor Vidal's church. So these are times where you're basically inviting the public so y'all can you can present all of these figures, statistics you were
That's
referencing.
right.
Um,
We're going to present things and show people crime trends where they're at. people, the violence has been in the past 6 months, but over a 3-year period, Baker County is still safe.
Right.
We are living in a safe environment. We are doing the job to keep our community safe. And I want people to see
Hmm.
those trends and where we're at right now.
Right.
And there's no better way to invite people.
Hmm.
We want them to come in. We're going to have a good presentation. It may be a little lengthy, but I want to give them all the information that we know and be as transparent as we can as a sheriff's office to the people that live in our community. That's our goal through this. And maybe they can ask the questions that they want answered.
Right.
And that's what our goal is, to make them feel safe. We
Hmm.
want them to know that we're working hard to keep Baker County safe.
Right. It's an excellent community engagement.
Yeah.
I think that's the goal. So, well, Sheriff, I appreciate you stopping by.
We appreciate you having
Uh,
us again.
all right. And everybody have a great day.
Thank you.